Hi, I am Sivaya, lecturer in physics, working in Vignan Institutions. In this session, I am going to explain some problems related to the Biot-Savart's law, especially related to the current carrying wire. Okay, so come to the question number 1. Find the magnetic field produced by the current carrying conductor shown in the figure. Here there is a wire AC which is carrying a current I. Now the highest point is making an angle of 30 degrees at point P and lowest point is making an angle of 45 degrees at point P. Due to that finite wire, by knowing the elevated angles, the magnetic induction at a perpendicular distance D can be determined by the formula B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. Here alpha beta are the angles elevated by the top point and the bottom point of the wire at point P. In this problem, alpha is given as 30 degrees, beta is given as 45 degrees. By substituting that angles, we have beta is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin alpha, sin 30. You know sin 30 is equal to 1 by 2. That 1 by 2 can be written as 0.5 plus sin beta. Here beta is equal to 45 degrees. So sin 45 is equal to 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 value is equal to 0.707. So that B is equal to 0.5 plus 0.707 is equal to 1.207 into mu naught I divided by 4 pi d. If suppose I value and d value are given in the problem, then we can determine the magnetic induction value by substituting id values in this equation. What is the direction of the magnetic field? According to the right hand palm rule, if suppose we keep the thumb finger in the direction of the current like this, then the curling fingers gives the direction of the magnetic field. The curling fingers are entering into the board. That's why this magnetic field is acting inwards. Okay, so due to the finite wire, the general formula is B is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. Using that, we determine the B value. Come to the second problem. Find the magnetic field produced by the current carrying conductor of infinite length carrying a current of 4 amperes at a perpendicular distance of 0.5 meters. Okay, here see the diagram. There is a wire of infinite length. See, the dotted line indicates that the top end is at the highest height, whereas the bottom end is at the lowest height. So at a perpendicular distance d from the wire, we want to determine the magnetic induction value. In this problem, the current passing through the wire is given. That current is I is equal to 4 amperes. And the perpendicular distance value is also given, that d is equal to 0.5 meters. Now we want to determine the magnetic induction at point P. For that, what is the general formula? The general formula is B is equal to mu naught by, the general formula is B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. So in this case, the point which is at far away from the point P is making an angle of alpha is equal to 90 degrees at point P, and the bottom point which is also at infinity distance is making an angle of 90 degrees at point P. That's why the angle of elevations of the highest point alpha is equal to 90 degrees, and for the lowest point also the angle is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, now by substituting this alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90 degrees in this equation, we have B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin 90 is equal to 1 plus again sin 90 is equal to 1. So this 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. This is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi d into 2. Already you know that this mu naught by 4 pi is equal to 10 to the power of minus 7 into the current is given as 4 amperes into 2 divided by the distance d is equal to 0.5. So this is equal to 16 into 10 to the power of minus 7 Tesla. 16 into 10 to the power of minus 7 Tesla. Here also, by using the right hand palm rule, if we keep the thumb finger in the direction of the current, then the curling fingers gives the direction of the magnetic field which are entering into the board. That's why this is also acting inwards. Okay, so for the infinite wire, the elevated angles alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90 degrees. By substituting that values in this equation, we can determine the magnetic induction value. Okay, so come to the question number 3. Find the magnetic field produced by the current carrying conductor of infinite length carrying a current of 4 amperes at a point P at a perpendicular distance of 0.5 meter nearer to one end shown in the figure. Okay, here this is the infinite wire. The current passing through the infinite wire is given, that is I is equal to 4 amperes. And the perpendicular distance of the point is also given, that d is equal to 0.5 meters. Now at this point P, we want to determine the magnetic induction value. Here, see the difference between the previous problem and this problem. In the previous problem, the wire is at infinite distance at the top end and also having infinite length at the bottom end. Whereas here, the point P is nearer to one end, whereas the other end is at infinite distance. That's why, if suppose we see the elevated angles of the top end and the bottom end, the elevated angles are given by, for top end, alpha is equal to 90 degrees and for the bottom end beta is equal to 0 degrees. Now by knowing the elevated angles alpha and beta, the magnetic induction can be determined by the general formula. What is that? B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. This is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin alpha is sin 90 is equal to 1 plus sin beta is sin 0 is equal to 0. So 1 plus 0 is equal to 0, so that B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d. This is equal to 10 to the power of minus 7 into I is equal to 4 amperes divided by D is equal to 0.5. So this is equal to 8 into 10 to the power of minus 7 Tesla. Here also the direction of the magnetic field is directed inwards according to the right hand palm rule. Okay, so here we have learned 3 different formulas. One in case of the finite wire, that is the general formula B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. If we have a wire of infinite length, so that the top end is at infinite distance and the bottom end is also at infinite distance, in that case alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90 degrees. Here, if the wire is having infinite length and the point is nearer to one end of the wire, then such a wire is said to be the semi-infinite wire. In that case, alpha is equal to 90 degrees, whereas beta is equal to 0 degrees. By taking the proper alpha beta values, we can solve the problem to determine the magnetic induction value. Okay? So see this problem. Figure shows a square loop of side A carrying a current I made from a uniform wire. Find the magnetic field at the center of the square. Okay? Here, square is given for us. You know that the square is made up of 4 sides. In all sides, the same current is passing like this. Now, due to these 4 sides, we want to find out the magnetic induction at point P. For that, I am going to divide this square into the 4 portions, A, B, C, D portions. Now, first let us consider the AB portion of the wire. For AB portion, for AB portion of the wire, what is the magnetic induction produced? For that, here let us join the point P from the wire, so we get the perpendicular distance D. Okay? Now, what is the angle made by the top point and the bottom point at the point P? Now, here this angle is equal to how much? At this angle, at this corner, the total angle is equal to 90 degrees. This is the perpendicular bisector. That's why this angle is equal to 45 degrees and this angle is also equal to 45 degrees. Now, similarly, this angle is also equal to 45 degrees, so that this angle is equal to 45 degrees and this angle is also equal to 45 degrees. Now, we know the perpendicular distance and also we know the elevated angles alpha and beta, so that the magnetic induction is given by the formula B1 is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi D sin alpha plus sin beta. Here what is this D? D is the perpendicular distance of the point P from the given wire. From this figure, the side of the square is equal to A. This is nothing but the half of the side. That's why in this case, this distance D is equal to half of the side A by 2. This is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi A by 2 into sin 45 plus sin 45, that is equal to 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2, that is equal to 2 by root 2. So we can write it as mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into 4 by root 2. Let it be equation number 1. Okay? Now, according to the right hand palm rule, if suppose the thumb is placed in the direction of the current, then the curling fingers gives the direction of the magnetic field. Here the direction of the magnetic field is directed inwards. So we determine the magnetic field produced by the AB wire. Okay? This side AB is considered. Due to that, we determine the magnetic induction value. Similarly, find the magnetic induction produced by the BC wire. So in case of the BC wire also, the length of the wire is same and the perpendicular distance is same and the angles made by the end B and end C at point P is also same, so that the same amount of the magnetic field is produced as that of the B1, so that B2 is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into 4 by root 2. Okay, here what is the direction of the magnetic field? Here also, let us keep your thumb finger in the direction of the current, then the curling fingers are entering into the board. That's why this is also inverse. Similarly, the field produced by the third side and the field produced by the fourth side are also having the same values, and using the right hand palm rule, the field produced by the third side is acting inwards and the field produced by the fourth side is also acting inwards according to the right hand palm rule. Now from that, this B2 is equal to B3, that is equal to B4, which is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into 4 by root 2. So all four fields are equal in magnitude and all four fields are acting into the board, so that the resultant magnetic field is given by B is equal to B1 plus B2 plus B3 plus B4. By adding the four values, we have mu naught I by 4 pi A into 16 by root 2 Tesla, which is acting inwards. Like this, whenever there is a single wire, due to that single wire determine the magnetic induction value. If the wire is bending into a shape, now in that shape identify the regular regions. Now by seeing the regular shapes, first of all determine the magnetic field produced by the each and every region along with its direction. Now by adding the magnetic field produced by the individual regions of the wire, we can determine the total magnetic field produced by the given shape of the wire. Okay, so come to this problem number 5. The wire ABC shown in the figure forms an equilateral triangle of side A. Find the magnetic field at the center of the triangle. In the previous problem, the wire is bent into the form of a square. The square has four sides, that's why the entire wire is dividing into four regions. We calculate the magnetic induction due to the each region. By adding four values, we get the total magnetic field at the given point. Whereas you know that the triangle is a regular shape which contains three sides. That's why first of all I am going to determine the magnetic induction produced by the AB portion, BC portion and CA portion separately. By adding that, we get the total magnetic induction value. Okay, for that let us consider the first portion, that is the AC portion. For AC wire, here if we want to determine the magnetic induction value, we should know the elevated angles made by the two ends of the wire and also the perpendicular distance of the point from the given wire. Here this is the point P. We want to determine the perpendicular distance dP. How to determine that perpendicular distance dP value? If suppose A is the side of the triangle, if A is the side of the triangle, then inside this triangle, let us see the angles at the different positions. Here it is the equilateral triangle, that's why the total angle at A is equal to 60 degrees, whereas this line intersects the angle at this line AP divides the angle as the perpendicular bisector, that's why this angle is equal to 30 degrees. Similarly, at this point P, at this point C also the angle is equal to 30 degrees. We know that the angle inside the any triangle is equal to, we know that the sum of the three angles inside any triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So when you consider this ADP triangle, the angle at A is equal to 30 degrees, whereas the angle at D is equal to 90 degrees. That's why this angle must be 60 degrees. Similarly, this angle also must be equal to 60 degrees. Now, for this DP, what is the perpendicular distance? Say from the triangle ADP, from triangle ADP, what can we write? From triangle ADP, we can write tan theta is equal to, that is tan 30 is equal to opposite side AD, which is nothing but the perpendicular distance, divided by AD, which is equal to half of the side of the triangle, that is A by 2. From this we can write D is equal to A by 2 tan 30. We know that tan 30 is equal to 1 by root 3. That's why we can write it as the perpendicular distance D is equal to A by 2 root 3. Let it be equation number 1. So this D gives the perpendicular distance of the point P from the AC wire. This is also nothing but the distance of the centroid from the wire. So that D is equal to A by 2 root 3. We know the angles made by the lowest point. We know the angles elevated by the points A and C at this point P. Using that, we have the magnetic induction B1 is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi D, mu naught I by 4 pi D into sin alpha plus sin beta, which is equal to sin 60 plus sin 60. Already we know that sin 60 is equal to root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2 plus root 3 by 2 is equal to root 3. So that we can write it as B1 is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi into what is the D value? D is equal to A by 2 root 3 into root 3. This is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into 2 root 3 into root 3, that is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into root 3 is equal to 3. 3 into 2 is equal to 6. This is equation number 2. Now using the right hand rule, the field produced by the AC wire is also acting inwards. This is acting inwards. By using the same procedure, we can also determine the magnetic field produced by the AB wire and also BC wire. From that we have B1 is equal to B2 is equal to B3, that is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into 6. All are acting inwards. So the magnetic field produced by the entire wire in the form of the triangle is given by B is equal to B1 plus B2 plus B3, that is equal to 3 times B1, that is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into 18. So using this formula, by knowing the current passing through the wire on the side of the triangle, the magnetic induction produced by the wire in the form of the equilateral triangle can also be determined. Okay, so here the given triangle is dividing into 3 portions. First we calculate the magnetic field produced by the one side of the triangle. After that is extended to the remaining two sides also. Because all the magnetic fields are entering into the board, the total magnetic field is given by the formula B is equal to B1 plus B2 plus B3. So this magnetic field also acting inwards. Right? Okay. Come to the problem number 6. Find the magnetic field at point P produced by the current carrying conductor as shown in the figure. See the specialty of this point. In the previous problems, there is some perpendicular distance from the point to the wire. Whereas here, see the point D is locating along the length of the wire. It is locating along the length of the wire. In such cases, what happened to the magnetic field when the point is located along the length of the wire? Here, this is the top end. What is the angle of the elevation of the top end at point D? That is alpha is equal to 0. And the angle elevated by the bottom point C is also equal to 0 degrees. That's why the top point and the bottom point are elevated at angles alpha is equal to 0 and beta is equal to 0. From this, the magnetic induction can be determined by the formula B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. We know that sin alpha is equal to sin 0 is equal to 0, sin beta is equal to sin 0 is equal to 0, 0 plus 0 is equal to 0, 0 into something is equal to 0. That's why the magnetic induction B is equal to 0. Remember this point. Whenever the point P is located along the length of the wire, that may be at smaller distance or longer distance, nowhere it is related, the magnetic induction at any point along the length of the wire is given by B is equal to 0. Come to the next one, that is the 7th one. Find the magnetic field at a point P produced by the current carrying conductor shown in the figure. Okay, so this is our current carrying conductor. Now at this point P, we want to determine the magnetic induction value. Okay, the distance D is given, which is nothing but the distance of the point P from the lower end of the wire. Okay, now the given distance D is not the perpendicular distance. Now for that wire, we want to determine the magnetic induction value. For that, see here, the wire is extending downwards, and from point P, we draw a perpendicular. Let A is the perpendicular distance of the point P from the wire. First of all, I am going to calculate the perpendicular distance A of the point P from the wire. For that, let us take this triangle. When you take this triangle, what is cos theta? Cos theta is equal to adjacent side A divided by hypotenuse D. From this we have A is equal to D cos theta. This is equal to D cos 30, that is equal to root 3 by 2D. First of all, I calculate the perpendicular distance of the given point from the wire in terms of the given distance D value. Okay. Next, when you see the figure, the angle of the elevation of the topmost point is given as 60 degrees and the angle of the elevation of the bottommost point is given as 30 degrees. Now, generally, we may feel that this 60 is equal to elevated angle of the top point, that is alpha, and this 30 is equal to elevated angle of the bottom point, that is beta, and we may feel that alpha, beta are known for us, and we try to solve the problem, which may give errors in the answers. Generally, whenever there is a finite wire, If suppose at this point P we want to determine the magnetic induction value. This is the elevated angle made by the top end, which is measured in the clockwise direction, whereas the elevated angle of the bottom point is measured in the anti-clockwise direction, and this is taken as alpha and this is taken as beta. That means alpha is measured in the clockwise direction, whereas beta is measured in the anti-clockwise direction. In that case, we have B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. But when you see this, in this diagram, here this is measured in the clockwise direction, whereas this is also measured in the clockwise direction. That means alpha is measured in the clockwise direction, beta is also measured in the clockwise direction. If we measure these values directly in this equation, we may get errors in the measurement. That's why the elevated angle of the topmost point is to be taken in the clockwise direction. That means this alpha is equal to 60 degrees. Whereas the elevated angle made by the lower point must be measured in the anti-clockwise direction. That's why we must measure the angle along this direction. And what is this angle? This angle is 30 degrees. The angle in the anti-clockwise direction is given by 360 minus 30, which is taken as beta. Here, remember this point. Alpha must be measured in the clockwise direction, beta must be measured in the anti-clockwise direction. Then only we can use this formula for the calculation of the magnetic induction due to the finite wire. Now substitute this alpha value, beta value in this equation, we may get the magnetic field produced by the given wire. So we have B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin alpha. What is alpha? Sin alpha means sin 60 plus sin 360 minus 30. This is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into sin 60 sin 360 minus 30 locates in the fourth quadrant, and we know that in the fourth quadrant sin is a negative. That's why this sin 360 minus 30 becomes minus sin 30. Now substitute the d value from here and substitute sin 60 value, sin 30 value, we get the magnetic induction value. This is mu naught I divided by 4 pi. In this equation, what is d? D is the perpendicular distance. Here that perpendicular distance is taken as A in our problem, which is found to be root 3 by 2d. Root 3 by 2d into sin 60 is equal to root 3 by 2 minus sin 30 is equal to 1 by 2. So this is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into root 3. By taking this 2 to the numerator, it becomes 2 into root 3 minus 1 divided by 2. This 2 cancels, and we have B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi d into root 3 minus 1 divided by root 3. Okay? So whenever that kind of the wires are given to you, so you have to keep that point in mind. What is that? The elevated angle made by the top point must be measured in the clockwise direction. The elevated angle made by the lower point must be measured in the anti-clockwise direction. Then by applying the formula in the proper way, we can determine the magnetic induction produced by the finite wire at the given distance. Okay? I think you understand all these problems. In this session, I discussed the different models to calculate the magnetic induction produced by the finite wire and infinite wire at the given perpendicular distance. So I think you understand the concepts. We will meet in the next session with another concept. Thank you one and all.